Hey, mate.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad today,
Very good.
Yeah, going really well.
What do you think of all this?
Yeah, this is a nice little setup we got here, and we're thinking about adding more now.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
add more cameras, we can add more people.
let's add both of our Osmo pockets and get a
Yeah,
C stand over and like have a little
exactly.
top down so they could see what we're adjusting over here.
Exactly. That
Yeah,
would be
that'd be
really, really good.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
So you did a little podcasting with the city.
Yeah, podcasting, mainly live streaming.
Yeah.
We had the mayor's report just last month, and it was our first time doing it since we've had a few other people leave. So it was a little hectic trying to get everything going, making sure the composition and lighting was good. But it was mainly the switching that was pretty scary at first because we had to switch to video. We didn't rehearse the video at all. We did it the day of, so I was trying to load everything in. We were loading videos from YouTube, so we didn't actually load it directly onto the ATEM switcher, which made it even a
Oh
little
wow.
odd for the switching.
So
But
the videos that you had, did you physically have them downloaded, or were you
no,
like using the internet to do them?
no, they were using the internet.
That is so scary for a
Yeah,
live production.
right,
Oh my gosh.
exactly. And I was like,
Anytime
we
that we
should.
do something like that and somebody's like, "Oh, we've got this YouTube video." I'm like,
Right.
"Can you download it?"
Yeah. Use YouTube converter or something. Make it happen
Exactly,
because
4K converter.
exactly.
That's huge.
Mhm.
What switcher were you using?
They were using the Black Magic Mini. I forgot the Mini Pro. I forgot what it was
Was
called.
it easy? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was quite easy. Yeah, everything was like little buttons. There weren't any knobs though. Which there was
Okay.
like a knob for the fading to black. I had to do, or the just the switching in general.
Right.
If you wanted that full control, the smooth control for it, I would have to go onto the laptop, use the Black Magic app, and do it from there. But for the most part, you can cut, you can fade to black, and yeah, there was a lot of buttons to mess around
So
with.
I know you do the live stream, and at one point they were using the laptop to do the coding part.
Hmm.
And I know at some point they were looking at buying a device that automatically does the coding part. Are they still using the laptop, or did they get the device in?
Still using laptops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And their live streaming is slightly different
Yeah.
because we would live stream, say, to Facebook, to YouTube, or whatever. But
Yeah.
you were live streaming to, what was that?
They were using Castus, and then from there they were able to connect, YouTube, Facebook, etc., wherever else they wanted to live stream over to. I didn't really have full control over or the experience behind Castus, but
Right.
yeah, they even had their own like little device for the live streaming, connected that to their network, and that's where they would connect over to Castus, and then they had their Sam Leandro TV. Um, yeah, so all that
Excellent.
stuff, that's where it kind of cut off on me. Mine was mainly the production, and then the
Yes.
switching, the lighting, all of that, just getting that all set up and making
Excellent.
sure everything worked.
Excellent. When did you start getting into video photography and all of that stuff?
So I first started off with video. I just always had this interest as a kid,
Yeah.
but being behind the camera, I would always ask my mom or my dad, being a little kid, like, "Oh, I want to take pictures on that camera.
Yeah.
Can I do that?" And then fast forward to college, I was just like, "Yeah, maybe I should actually get into it." Bought my first camera on OfferUp, got a sweet deal on it for like 200 for a Sony A6000.
All right. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then from there, I just started making random videos, posted them on YouTube, and then I was actually starting off with DaVinci because it was free, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel like ripping off like Adobe or something,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, after a while, I messed around with video, and then the pandemic hit. I
Yes.
was
Oh my
starting
gosh.
to look around a little bit, switch my medium up, and started doing photography. And
Yeah.
then from there, just started shooting photos of friends. And then next thing you know, you have friends of friends hitting you up for graduation photo shoots. Started doing
Yeah.
graduation photo shoots from there. And then one of my friends, he's a videographer, Casual Brian, really great guy,
Yeah.
really energetic. He actually got me as a secondary shooter for Tyson 2.0. It was at 420 Hippie Hill. I forgot, maybe 2022, and now I got to do like secondary photography for him and assisting him in some of his video. And yeah, it's just been an adventure since, after doing photography. And once the city took me in 2023 into 2024, that's where I really started diving into videography. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this.
You
I
have a
should."
good eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
thank
have like
Appreciate that.
photography. You have a good eye, and with your video as well, you
Yeah,
understand composition, you
appreciate
understand
that.
lighting, and all of that stuff. So
And
I'm excited to have you work with us here as well.
it's
It's
a
going to be
pleasure, man.
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how you work as well, and then
Yeah.
we get to see how we all tie in with one another, and
Right.
just continue to build off from there.
And you're working with me, but you're also building your own business.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh man, so I've been thinking about this for a while, and after trying freelance photography for a little bit, and just focusing on the shooting, I was like, I don't have any marketing, I don't have any like business aspect, the administrative part, and I wasn't putting money away for taxes, etc. And I was like, I need to take a little hiatus and really figure this out. So I think this year is just now where I'm finding it out, after freelancing for about 2 years and just working off of word of mouth
Yes.
from individuals that I've met over the years. But now I kind of want to focus more towards videography. Um, Definitely building my reel is the important part, and really building my business model is what
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about, having these specific video packages and really keying out every single detail, because if I leave anything out, I may end up working for free, is from what I hear from
The
other
editing
individuals.
part is always like underestimated, how long the edit's going to
Yeah,
take. And that's photography and
Yeah.
videography.
yeah.
And that's, you
It's
have to be
so
very,
broad.
very defined with a client
Yeah.
that, I'm going to do this video.
Mhm.
You're going to get it. You get one round of edits, or
Yeah.
if
how
there is a
many-
round of edits,
Mhm.
this is the cost for that.
Yeah, exactly. How many revisions are they, allowed once I send the final?
Yeah.
There's a lot of trust that goes on, especially when booking a photographer or videographer. You're not booking them so that you can micromanage every little detail. You're booking them because you trust them for the work that they put out.
And they've got the skill set. That's what,
Exactly.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I either can't do this or I don't have the time to do this. I'm bringing this person I trust to come in, and you'll get
Yeah.
a lot of work that you'll get
Exactly.
is going to be from word of mouth. So
Yep.
you'll work with one client, they'll pass you on, and it's like, oh, I know this guy, he can help you out.
Yeah.
And it's really good that you're building that
Mhm.
portfolio,
Ah.
because, you may get that word of mouth and they'll be like, well, I want to see it.
Yeah.
You've already had the nice intro from somebody,
Mhm.
and then to have that physical body of work where somebody can see it
Mhm.
is really good. And
Yep.
what can be hard sometimes is, when you're starting out, you may have worked with a few clients, but if that's like private client work and you're not allowed to share it,
Right.
it doesn't help you.
Yeah,
So I
it
know
doesn't.
right now you've been working on a lot of stuff to build your reels. Tell me about what you've been doing
Oh
recently.
man, so right now, luckily I actually met the head chef over at the Drake's dealership, because one of my friends that worked for the marketing team for Drake's had me for some photography work. I was just gonna send them the raw files. I got
Yeah.
their contacts and Instagram, and then fast forward to now, he wanted to do a video. So me building out my reel now, aside from what I already have built, is me just doing the cold call, reaching out to specific businesses, ones that I think I would enjoy doing, and things that I find passionate about, which
Yeah.
is like food, maybe some fashion here and there, and then just creating reels if allowed to do so for my
Right.
portfolio.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I know you're doing not free work, but you're doing some
Pro bono.
pro bono work.
bono
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Pro bono does not pay the bills, just
at
so
all.
we all know.
Not at
If you
all.
have a friend who's a photographer and you're like, oh, I'll get them to do it pro bono, just don't.
Pay your friends, please.
Pay your
Yeah,
friends.
Pay them for what they're worth, and don't ask for discounts.
Yes, don't
They-
ask for discounts
They'll,
from your
if
friends.
they want to give you a discount,
Yeah.
they'll do it.
Yeah.
know?
And they'll often like, I will, for a friend or whatever, I'll throw some extra stuff
Yeah,
in. It's like
exactly.
I'll be doing an outdoor movie night, and
Yeah.
I'll throw in like I'll upgrade a projector or I'll take a bigger screen. If I'm doing
Yeah,
photography,
exactly.
I'll
All
do
that's
some
photos.
yeah,
Yeah. I
exactly.
usually do like 15 edited.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw in an additional 5, an extra
Yeah,
10.
exactly.
Sometimes I just
Yeah.
fall into that workflow. I'm like, I might as well add a few more that look good.
And the cool thing about when you're taking, you probably know this, you've felt this one, when you're taking photos of friends,
Mhm.
you kind of, you know their fake smile
Yeah.
and you know they're authentic, their
Uh-huh.
real smile, and they
Oh,
can be
yeah.
very different. So
Mhm.
when you have a friend do your own, you
Mhm.
have a photographer friend and they do your photos, they're
Mhm.
probably gonna get the authentic smile that you have,
Yeah.
not that, you know,
Uh,
fake,
a
fake,
little fake something. Yeah. And I think just being a photographer, being able to make any other client, like aside from your friends, comfortable to
Yes.
bring out that authentic smile. Yeah, it's a lot more than just having a camera. Yeah.
It's the conversation
Hmm.
that you have to try and make somebody comfortable. And some
Exactly.
people are just, they don't like having the photo taken.
No, yeah.
So what do you try and do to make people comfortable when you're in that situation? Do you have any tricks that you've come up with so far?
I mean, just treating them as a friend is definitely one thing, and then always hyping them up.
Yeah.
I mean, once
Yeah.
you find their side, once you hype them up as much as you can, it's up to them to make sure that they feel that way. I'm always especially if they're really really skeptical about how they look, always show them the reference shot.
Yeah.
Bring it up to them, and then tell them how good they look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
you know
really like how you hold yourself, or you find that
exactly,
that one
like
thing
one.
that is like, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I did recently for a recent client was, these photos aren't, just for headshots. Have them as you are. Like, don't try and take in any other people's perspective. Like, oh, try having a smirk rather than smiling with your teeth. You find
Hmm.
what's best for you, and it's best for you. If you have this brightest smile, but you're trying to force something else out,
Yeah.
don't force it. Do what's already natural for yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there, once I let them know and they did those smiles and it turned out amazing, we just kept going from there.
I know.
We use what works.
I know you did a bunch for this. City of San Leandro was providing free headshots. Is that right?
Yeah,
Tell me
we
about
did.
that. How
Oh
did
my
that
God.
happen?
Yeah, so I mean, my manager, he already knew that.
Is this Paul?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
the other Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We work together. It's very confusing.
yeah, Paul and Paul. And yeah, he knew my skill behind that, and I was open to doing free headshots for the community because not a lot of people have access to a headshot photo. It's a luxury, if anything.
Yeah.
And so we went ahead and did it. We had to get a booking system going. I mean, they used the whole Microsoft system when I
Yeah.
was working there, so we used Microsoft Bookings. And I went through multiple YouTube tutorials to try and figure
Okay.
out how to set it up, and we were having issues with that. But once I got it going, like I could at least set it there. It's saved.
Yeah.
We got the booking system for those specific dates that we had. We had two, a Tuesday and a Thursday, and we had about for the first session, I was just running tests with the team, and then we started doing the social media push for it.
Yeah.
And I believe all we did was create maybe a flyer,
Yeah.
and then a reel that we can use that we post on Instagram. We weren't really using TikTok as much.
Yeah.
Most of our videos never performed well on TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were mainly using Instagram and then YouTube Reels, but we perform best on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I just created a quick reel on the spot. We had Michaela, who was originally the city broadcaster now. We scripted everything just on the spot. We already had a script. She created the script. And then for the shot list, we were at Root Park.
Right.
And I
Oh,
just
that's
thought
not
of,
too far.
yeah,
Yeah.
right across the street. And I just thought of it like, hey, what if we do something a little dynamic? We can like zoom in post. First shot, you walk in, you say your lines, we're providing city headshots free, and then we reiterate absolutely free. We could zoom in post to accentuate that.
Right.
And then she walks off. We do a little bit of close-ups for, her opening up a bag, get a camera out,
Yeah.
and then we say, oh, we're posting photos on this date, and then she takes a shot. I add a little bit of sound to make it sound like she's adding a photo or
Right.
taking a photo.
Right.
And we posted that. That one actually performed really well. I mean, who would deny free headshots? And then
Yeah.
we posted on LinkedIn too.
Right.
And then we actually, after we posted that, fully booked for those 2
Right,
days. And
right.
I think we had about maybe 50 slots per day, something along those lines.
Right.
And yeah, it
That's
was,
amazing. And you don't think about, a normal resume, often you won't have a photo in there, although I'm seeing more and more of them.
Mhm.
But LinkedIn is your online, you may love it or hate it, it is your online resume.
Exactly.
And, downloading the photo you've got posted as your Facebook
Mhm.
image is not the way to go.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The representation really matters,
Yeah.
especially on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah.
You really want to represent yourself well.
Yeah. And are you, is the city still doing that? I know you've moved on from the city, but
know.
are they still doing that or not?
I don't know if they're going to do that again.
No, it was a
but-
lot of work, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I mean,
It's a
Yeah.
great service.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
great service. I hope they continue to do it, aside from me, leaving and everything. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that goes well.
Yeah.
But yeah. And how about you? How did you get into photography and everything?
So, oh my gosh, I've always liked photography, and then I
Mhm.
took a black and white photography class
Nice.
at Santa Rosa Junior College,
Cool.
and that was like back in the dark ages when you actually had to go in the Lightroom
Oh,
and like not
Yeah.
Lightroom the software. I'm sorry, you went in the
dark
dark room itself, dark room itself, and the interesting thing was I went through the black and white photography class. My wife took
Yeah.
the same class. We were like a year apart.
oh, nice.
So we had a shared experience, but we did it separately, but
Mhm.
with the same teacher, which was
Ah.
very cool. So we,
nice.
comparing our pinhole cameras and everything.
Yeah.
But learning photography, black and white photography, being in the dark room with enlargers and everything.
Yeah.
When I went to the digital
Mhm.
and I started using Photoshop,
Mhm.
been around for a while. I started with Photoshop 3.0. Yeah, it's been a while. But the tools, which back then were fairly basic, were basically what you would do in a darkroom.
Wow.
So it was like the dodging tool and all of the
Okay.
highlight tool and all of that. That was
Mhm.
something you would do in the darkroom. So
Yeah.
those skills I learned as a photographer when I did that class
Mhm.
really transferred to when I
Wow.
started doing digital. So it was a slightly different way of thinking.
Mhm. Wow.
So that's what got me into it. And, when I was shooting black and white, I mean, we would do the whole thing. You would develop the film and
Mhm.
print your prints and that, which was amazing. It was
Yeah.
such a good experience, and it makes
Wow.
you. It's very different when you've got 24 shots
Mhm.
than when you've got a memory card in there that
Yeah.
you can take 2024 shots.
Yeah.
I even get into that habit these days of the spray and pray. You
Yeah.
just go, and like one
Yeah.
of them's going to be good. A really good practice
Yeah.
is say, okay, I'm going to take 24 photos. You turn off the rapid fire
Mhm. Yeah.
and you really think about the
Yeah,
photo
you
you're
really
going to
slow
take.
down.
Yeah.
I should start thinking about it.
It's
That way
it's
as
a
well,
real
like
like
having
if you ever
the
like
24 roll.
yeah, you got a
36
quiet
exposures.
day, say, okay, I'm going to go out
Yeah.
and give yourself a challenge. I'm going to go out to San Francisco. I'm going to go to a park. I'm going to find a
Yeah.
dog, and I'm going to, with this photo, what it's like to have a dog in San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Having a specific study.
In
That's
yeah,
great.
and I've got 24 frames to come away with something.
Wow.
That'll be a great challenge.
That's a good challenge,
So
actually. Yeah.
that's where I
That's good
started
content.
photography. I started with Nikon, and then when I
Wow.
went digital, I went to Canon.
Nice.
And I stayed with Canon because I buy one lens, I buy two lenses, and the next thing you know, it's like
Go down the
you don't
hole.
want to change.
Gas is real, folks. Gas is real.
yeah, glass is real. Glass is where all the money
Yeah.
goes. Like when you start in photography, the camera seems
Mhm.
expensive,
Yeah.
but when you really get into photography,
Yeah.
it's the glass.
Yeah,
It's
the
the
glass for sure.
lens. Oh my
And
gosh.
I was also talking about GAS, GAS,
Oh,
gear acquisition
yeah.
syndrome.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
That is dangerous. I thought you said
Yeah.
glass, but yeah.
The glass too, but
Yeah.
the gas.
We're saying that I'm like looking around and like some of this is for my business, the
Yeah.
equipment,
Yeah,
but the multitude of lenses that I own.
I bet.
Yeah. No.
Maybe you have gas.
Yeah. Gas glass.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good though. It's and you know, I went from what was really good for my photography was you know, I understood composition and everything, and then
Yeah.
1 year I gave myself that challenge of doing 365. How many days in a year? I was right. 365 photos in a year, so a photo a day, and I
Yeah.
did that for a whole year,
Yeah.
and that improved my photography no
Yeah.
end.
I still haven't done that challenge
Yeah,
yet. But
it's a great
should
challenge,
definitely do that.
and it's like, in a way, it's people journal.
yeah.
That photo every day can be your journal.
You're right.
So
You're
it
definitely
was,
right.
you know, within my year, my wife went through some medical stuff, and a couple of the images were related to that. And now I look back on those photos, and you know, I remember the fun time out with my daughter, and this the thing I did with my son, and then I remember the medical thing that my wife went through. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a real story.
Yeah.
And like a photo can tell a whole story.
Oh yeah.
Video, you can physically tell the story, but
Yeah.
in an image, you can sometimes portray
1,000 words, emotions.
1,000 words
Yeah.
in an image.
You're immortalizing one
Yeah.
moment. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Instagram used to be just photos.
Right. Yeah. Little squares.
Yeah.
Not the 4x5.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, definitely. I think, I definitely want to try the 365 challenge and,
Yeah.
you know, really start to hone in on that. I actually found myself like a little point and shoot.
Oh, brilliant.
And now I can, you know, carry that around. I think
Yeah.
one of the main things was I didn't want to lug around my camera all over the place
Yes.
with a huge lens.
Yeah.
And it's kind of intimidating too when you see someone out on the street with like a really professional camera. But if you see
Right.
someone with like a little point and shoot or even like the Osmo Pocket 3, like it's very
Yeah.
non-threatening, right?
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
can just go out and, you know, collect those moments or really just hone in on your composition and really slow down.
That makes, I think the Osmo Pocket 3, if you're not familiar, it's a camera and it has a gimbal, so it gives you like smooth footage. But it's,
Yeah.
I used to do video, some blogs and stuff
Yeah.
with my R5, and it's a big camera and it had the microphone and
Plugging the whole
everything, and
thing.
it was like it's intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And the little Pocket is just such a easy
So
device to
convenient.
use.
Yeah.
You flip the screen, it turns on, and it's ready to go.
And it's in 4K.
And it's in 4K. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to do. You could always, I know some people will do, there's the photography channels, but I've seen people do it with video, but they'll limit themselves to so many seconds of video and cut it all together
Yeah.
over a year. And then you kind of get a story of your life
Oh,
over that year.
that's interesting.
So that's another
I
thing.
think I've seen that for like Instagram trends rather than like it's like really quick snippets of a life going on.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
I've even seen some
Exactly.
people do like their hair too, their hair growth, like
Right.
a photo a day, and
Yeah.
then they like speed it up in a
Yeah.
photo in a video.
Yeah, that's great. That's some, yeah, you have to be committed.
I think that
to
would
do
be
that.
a great challenge for video too. I mean,
Yeah.
both photography and video have their own ways of conveying story,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I would say photos quite difficult to convey like either just one emotion or plethora of emotions in
Right.
just one shot.
Yeah.
Or usually when you have a project, you have like maybe 4 or 5 to really convey that story. And
Right.
then for video, it's like, you know, those 30 seconds, what can I script off and what can I convey? You know,
Yeah.
there's so many different things. Like you have your wide shot, you're really showing your environment, and then you have your medium, you're getting a little closer to your subject, than the extreme close-ups for any, you know, little moments of emotion.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a lot to play with, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they each have their own. It really flexes the brain in different ways.
It's funny because some of the skill sets are similar,
Yeah,
but there's a lot that's different.
yeah. The application is completely different.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's fun though. It is fun.
definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Alex, it's been awesome
Yeah,
speaking with you,
it's been
man.
great, Paul. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye
Where
bye.
do I do the fade to black? I want to do fade
Yeah,
It's on
I tried.
on the screen right there, and you just hit the square.